Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for the introduction. So I've been with OGD for 12 years now, and I'm always excited about events like these because it provides a great platform for the exchange of ideas. Um, Yesterday, you heard from some of our leadership and experts, and today you will also hear from other experts as well. However, at the end of the day, how many of you would think it'd be a great opportunity to maybe spend a day inside the walls of FDA, right? You spend those 2 days, you get to see what we see from the inside. And maybe you can apply to what you learn to your own applications. Sounds like a great idea, right? That's what this segment is about. I've gathered a few topics across the platform of the review cycle, and we're just going to discuss simple things that maybe you can do that will help us help you move the review process along and hopefully get the approval and make it predictable as you wish. So these are the few topics. And first, I'd like to clarify that I'll be touching base on several topics, as you can see. And the goal is really just to touch the surface and discuss easy things that you can do and monitor for the review process. It's not meant to dig deep into the weeds of the guidances and so forth. Okay, so first topic is things that you can monitor regularly. ROD updates, drugs at FDA. Many times we see applicants wait till the last 30 days before they start submitting these. Please don't do that. This is something that you should do all the time throughout the life cycle of the application. If you wait till the last 30, 60 days to monitor the ROD updates, it may impact your approval. The Orange Book. Again, monitor the Orange Book regularly. Look for any kind of changes in marketing status, exclusivities, and then submit any patent amendments that are appropriate to those changes. Yesterday, Commander Christine Lee talked about product-specific guidance updates. She also mentioned 1,700 PSGs have been published by OGD. Again, please look at this list, okay? As we update this list is always growing. Don't wait till the end because, again, it may impact your approval date. And this is the link to the PSGs. In the cover letter. So if applicable, if you have an application that you feel meets the requirements of the prioritization map, 5240.3, clearly request prioritization with every submission. I'm going to repeat that, with every submission. This is important. Why? Because something that might have been a priority in October of 2018 may no longer be a priority today, and vice versa. So it's important that you request prioritization with every submission. We also ask that you state in the cover letter if you have ANDAs that cross-reference BE studies or have shared labeling. This helps OGD with the timing and the strategy of issuing our actions for your ANDAs. Please list all impacted review disciplines, heading at the top of all amendment cover letters. You probably have noticed in your CR letters near the bottom, we always suggest headers for you to provide for us in your CR responses. However, we cannot predict what you will send in. So in the instance that maybe you submit unsolicited information along with those CR response, please let us know in the cover letter, and then list the header to which discipline that may affect or needs to review that. Also, in your deficiency response, maybe you you change something and you know that it will affect another discipline that we did not put in the header. Again, please put that in the header. This helps us with the triaging of the amendments and assigning of the workload. For example, if you submit new storage conditions, if you change it as part of the deficiency response, and the header only has drug product quality, but we know that storage conditions may affect labeling. So please add labeling to that header. Amendments to an unapproved ANDA. So if your amendment covers any one of those 4 conditions, you need to send in your amendment, with your amendment, an appropriate patent certification or statement, or a recertification for the previously P4 certification that you submitted. Okay, this is a requirement by CFR 314.96. This goes with every amendment. Or in the case that you can add a verification statement in the cover letter that states that your amendment does not contain one of those 4 changes. Okay? And we provide an example of what that statement would look like. Notification of commercial marketing. CFR 314.107C2 for first filer applicants. Understand that you are required to submit notice of commercial marketing within 30 days of the date of his first commercial marketing of the drug product or the reference listed drug. Failure to do so, OGD will consider the date of your first commercial marketing to be the ANDA approval date, possibly affecting your 180-day exclusivity. Also, CGTs, competitive generic therapy. If you are the first to be approved, immediately notify OGD of commercial marketing if you were designated CGT. Otherwise, other ANDAs will continue to be approved. If you were designated CGT and you were the first to be approved, we will also provide you with instructions in the approval letter. Okay? So please read. I know the approval letter, sometimes they can be long, but it's important that you read thoroughly throughout the whole letter and follow these instructions. And this is a draft guidance for the CGT. Goal date extension. Question, what happens to your goal date if you withdraw an amendment that might have extended a goal date? We had situations like this, and please understand that if the amendment extended the goal date, the extended goal date remains in effect. Form FDA 356H. Everybody's familiar with this as it is required for every submission. The important part is there are certain aspects of the form that are still left unfilled. And we want to clarify with everybody, just please make sure, like for section 28, particularly, even though the establishment is filled out, this section is often left unmarked. So please fill that out, as well as the status of the establishment. It makes it easier for everybody to evaluate. Regarding, please update the updated authorized agents information in sections 31 to 36. And also, please make sure that you include the appropriate signatures as well. Form FDA 3674. This form is a certification of compliance with the clinicaltrials.gov data bank requirements. I know many of you probably think, it doesn't qualify for you because most generics don't use these. However, it is a requirement. It's part of 42 United States Code 282. You are to submit it with your original ANDA. You must provide this form with any application that is submitted under Section 505. Hence, it does cover generics as well. This is a copy of the form. This form is something that DFR checks as they're doing their filing review. And understand that failure to submitting the certification or knowingly submit a false certification are prohibited acts. Everybody's favorite topic, request for reconsideration. So request for reconsiderations, it covers many different aspects. But the one part that I do want to talk or emphasize a little bit more is about the major minor, just because that is what we primarily get. Last year, OGD received over 300 RFRs. Is a copy of the draft guidance for your pleasure, if you have nothing to do. So regarding the major and minors, you probably noticed in our CR deficiency letters, whenever you get a major, we try to provide a justification statement or a rationale, if you will, as to why your deficiencies were classified as major. Please look to Appendix A, because the majority of those, the justifications come from the Appendix A of that guidance, okay? So please look through that before you're submitting your RFRs. Maybe it'll give you a better understanding. And then if you still feel differently about our justification, if you're going to send in the RFRs, please put a bold heading, submission for request for reconsideration, and then send a courtesy copy to the RPM and to the inbox. Again, this is all inside the guidance. DMF Collaboration. So any single time you have a business relationship, it's always important, right, to keep that open line of communication with your business partners. And this is no different. What happens is if you know there's an actual date that you are expecting approval by, it's always a good idea to let the DMF holder know so that there are no surprise submissions by the DMF holder. It's something that you can do to maybe strategize and work together on. For example, if you have a patent a product with a patent expiry of April 15th, I would you would definitely let them know that as that time comes along, so that they may not submit a DMF amendment or a DMF update on April 1st and surprise you. For supplements that involve a DMF amendment, we ask that you include the DMF amendment date in the cover letter. Again, this just helps the review team find the information faster. For post-approvals, so the agency, we often get inquiries as to what supplement categories certain submissions should be. So we provided a list of the guidances and CFRs on how that determination is made. FDA does not perform pre-review of supplements. So we ask that you look through those guidances and the CFRs to make the determination and submit. Also, understand that if you do not hear from FDA within 30 days of the CB0 or the CB30 receipt date, you can implement those changes. And then last, Lieutenant Commander Andrew Kim touched on this a little bit, but this is a link to their organizational chart for DPM. So if you have any questions about your RPM, or if you're having a hard time reaching us, you can go to that link. It is updated regularly, and you can reach out to the team leader or the supervisors or whoever you want. Okay? And that's it. Thank you.